Here we go, people. This is like part 3, which is, you'll see part 1 and part 2 first. Anyway, to save me, because Michelle said I'm away from the camera too much, I've already refilled the Edelweiss, coming at 5.1%, and I've already refilled the Franziskaner, coming in at 5%.
And that's the original.
That's the original Franziskaner. What we're going to do now is show how actual complex the Franziskaner Royal is, because we're fortunate enough to have our one but last keg. Because it could be the end. This could be, I'll try and do a separate Frankie review at some point, because from what I know, you may not see Franziskaner on the Perfectdraft again. Just get an idea. I said last time it wasn't coming out anytime soon, and it was released the next
week. And
week.
It did come back, yeah.
And that was straight information from them, so. But there's just something this time that I just think you may well see it in October, November, but I don't know. I would, for some reason, I don't know. They'd love to not do this, from what I think. So, anyway, I'm going to pour the king, and that's what we called it, the king. It wasn't me that named the king, although I get all the credit for it. It was Justin Buchanan, who's a good lad as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there you are, one of the old royal glasses. So we've got everything in the correct glass, and as I say, it's more to show we've done them two together. But to do the 3, you'll go into that extra percent. Well, 5, 1, 5, and 6.
You're taking it up a level.
Yeah, you're moving up to a different gravy, you know. If this had have been much higher in Strum, it could have been a Weizenbock.
Yeah, nice.
I could put some pineapple in it for old Ponderer. Oh,
Getting there.
He's done it. He's done it again. Look at the colour of that. Sorry, the dogs are getting confused because they can't get in. I'll do a quick snapshot, just in case we need to use it for anything. By the time you see the thumbnail, you'll probably think, why did he bother taking a picture? He didn't use it, but they're often good for lots of other things. So, right. Obviously, the Royal is a completely different colour, as you can see. I mean, yeah, I can see what they can see.
Yeah. It really is stand out, a dark colour. It's a dark amber colour.
It's a phenomenal drink, you know. I'm not gonna not shout for it. I mean, here for me, you had 3. Well, we said 3 better on pumps. Oh, then again, I'll have to go on Hogarth. I love my hose. You know what I'm like. Not quite.
It's retaining its head really well. Even the head is a slightly beigey colour. Yeah. It's that little bit darker than the other 2.
Remember in what do you call it, for these 2, I did fill them up from the last video. Yeah. So it could be why the heads, you know,
drop down a little bit.
Very moderate carbonation with all of them, but wheat beers are not that carbonated. It's not a nucleated glass. You don't have a nucleated glass with a wheat beer, you know.
They're meant to be quite smooth and lovely, mild.
But that's got a lovely, and it's really has. Not only has it retained it, but it looks proper. Mm. So I think you want to go that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. There is no right or wrong here. It was just to show the point that for me, the Royal is still another level. Because it was funny. I was drinking it the other night and I already had a few, and I thought, wow. But then I have this thing about the normal Franziskaner at the moment. I'm finding it flowing just as mad. That's a lovely start. And you're right. The more putting that up, as a point Michelle made in one of the last videos, it's got a lovely fruitiness to it. Not just your ripe bananas, but a sweetness. And that's one of them, especially in the sun, that you could really...
Yeah, there's a little bit subtle kind of citrus flavour in there. It is pleasant. Yeah.
Should have put it against Hogarth. And then on the king.
Oh yeah. It's a deeper, more complex flavour.
Yeah, it's different level. And you actually, when you actually swallow it, you know you're drinking something that, it's not only more complex, it's just, You're actually feeling it, you know, compared to them two. I mean, I've done this one and this one together ages ago. But when you're actually swallowing the king, it's telling you, you know, this 6% is here. I'm here.
Yeah, it has got a little bit more kick to it.
Yeah.
It feels that little bit more punchy.
But in a nice way, don't get me wrong. Not
What really surprises me about Royal, it isn't as banana-y as the standard. And
No, it's got that caramel though, hasn't it? It's got that.
it's got a slight caramelly taste.
More to.
But for me, it has quite a raisin style taste to it. There is a slight sweetness, that dried fruit kind of taste to it. Which is why it surprises me that you like it so much.
Someone said before about a figgy
Yeah.
type of taste. A figgy, or was it a Perfectdraft website? I can't remember, but there's just something that comes together in that keg. I remember they were on offer when I first bought them. This is going back 9 years ago. And I always drank that.
That's a long time ago, yeah.
Long before we had a Blade, I always drank that. That was my go-to drink. That was my favourite. But the other one, I think it was like £15 a keg for Thankyou Royal on short date. There was like 3 kegs for £45, and I'm thinking, hold on a minute, this is a little bit of a saving. And I thought, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know, what did they used to call it? Thankyou, what was the old name? I can't remember. I didn't even know the names, what they called it in beer groups. That was when Haley, before Conrad. And I got 3 kegs of that. And we used to have a garage then before it burnt down, unfortunately. And I remember loading it up, and I think you were drinking something from the fridge. I was drinking something from there, and she said, "Do you like your drink?" And I'm thinking, God, hell no. What is it? What have I done? And I'm thinking,
first wine, he
I've
wasn't
got 3 kegs.
It doesn't have that banana-y standard wheat beer kind of taste.
I just thought it was odd.
It is a little bit deeper than that. It does have a more rich flavour. Someone said fig, I could probably go along with that one. He's kind of describing it as raisin.
It's the complexity of it. Your palate really has to adjust. I'm used to it now. But I can remember like the first pint, and I can remember having the first pint a few times and thinking, I got right into that. And after the first one, actually by the end of the first one, you're like, wow, hold on a minute. And then it goes from there, the journey, because my journey could have been so much different. If I could have swapped that keg out on that first pint all that time ago, I'd be like, no way. I'll take the other Franziskaner. And I kept thinking it's a 6%, but it was odd compared to that. And obviously I don't know a lot about wheat beer now, but 9 years ago, my knowledge was very low. You know, my first wheat beer, in effect, was Blanc back in the 90s, which by the time you see this video, will probably be released everywhere, because it's very soon. You know, and then I had a thing about Hogarten. Again, that would have been in about the year 2000. So you're talking about 24 years ago.
Yeah.
For Hogarten, which was more of a wheat beer, probably so than Blanc. I know Blanc gets panned a lot. For me, Blanc's decent. It's not up to the level of these. Granted, that's a bit like Blanc.
But I think what Paul's trying to get around is the fact that once you get that first pint of this in you, there is some kind of addictive quality to this particular beer. You drink the first one, and your palate's starting to adjust to it, and you start thinking, yeah, I quite like that. And you go on the second one, and by that time you're just wanting to drink more and more and more of it. It does have a really kind of addictive quality.
And it can hurt you. I mean, I can't even do it now, but I have done a keg on a night on my own of that, and I'm telling you,
it's
the
too
next day,
rich to be doing that.
The next day, I've had some problems with certain things, and I look at that monk and I think, but I drank your beer. I'm paying for your lifestyle. Why would you do that to me? And it does, yeah. It can be too rich. It can be somewhat a problem, especially for someone that's not used to wheat beer and everything. Whereas you don't get so many problems with these two. I've been on both these two the last few nights, and I'm taking nothing away from Edelweiss. As I said, it's a decent beer, but it's not a hit of the Royal.
Yeah.
And that, although that's the little brother, they're completely different.
They are different.
People say, but they're similar. It's like, but they're not similar. What is similar? Right, they're wheat beers. There's nothing else. They have nothing else in common.
Their flavour profiles are quite different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really don't get that one. I kind of think, yeah, but the only time they're like each other is when you do a half and half, which you can do, which is a 5.5 PJT special, by the way. But I have got right into this. The Royal still now somewhat scares me sometimes because it can get messy. I know that there's 3/4 in that keg.
Like I said, it's got that addictive quality to it, and you do get into it, and you do drink more than probably what you should, and then you do pay for it. It hits you hard.
It can be. It's cruel, isn't it? You buy, like I say, you buy this Monk's beer, and it stitches you up, and the old car's in the next day. But it's not just, you know, we've had it on Facebook, beer groups, that bloody Monk, you know.
By the third pint of Royal, I'm starting to really quite feel it.
Yeah, but the problem is, but you don't think, oh Jesus, that's getting me. I've got to slow down. You just want more, and it's like there's something in it that's like a drug or something that's making you just want more. And putting it up against these two today, you know, there's only one. There's only one drink here, isn't there? I mean, we've been on it for nearly 11 minutes. I could talk to you for 25 minutes, drinking all the way through them. You keep looking at me. There's going to be some issues in this house very soon.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to go here, because I thought we'd be much more through them than what we are. But because I'm gabbling away a load of probably boring everyone to death. And we can share that. We can have that.
Okay, that's cool.
Because you normally get them all, don't you? But no, it's the Royal by far here. Honestly, putting them up together, and the more I'm drinking it, I'm starting to think, oh.
Yeah, I'm agreeing again with him. Oh,
I know, it's just agreeing all day today. There's something wrong. But it's, like I say, this is just a bit of fun, you know. We're sat here, we're away soon. I'm trying to get a few videos done and everything. And why we were doing one, I said, well, look, why not do this? So it's ended up 3 parts when it was only going to be 1 video, isn't it? But it's just putting the beers out there, making you aware, letting, you know, maybe new people, they've just brought a machine, might think, oh, send 2 idiots, I don't know. You know what I mean? Anyway, right, I think we've got a cool time on there because...
We have been waffling on.
You've been. I've told her, just keep quiet and let me do the talking. He who dares wins, he who hesitates, don't. 1, 2, 3, in that order.
Yeah.
But taking nothing away from that, it's still quality. Bonjour.